So it's 3 a.m. I'm in front of an Arco gas station with a U-Haul. Usually when I have a U-Haul with a car transporter behind it, I'm about to make a bad decision. Now you thought, Ethan, you're supposed to be selling cars. You have too many cars. Why are you getting more cars? But this one's a little different. This one's maybe a little bit more environmentally conscious. Come join me on this trip where I'm going to be getting yet another car, but maybe I don't feel quite as bad about this one. All right, I've made it to Big Pine, California, filling up the U-Haul. Truck is getting about 14 miles per gallon, which is great. Now I'm buying a vehicle that is, quote, decent for the environment, but I'm spending a lot of gas to go retrieve it. That's all right, but just look behind me. Look at that. That's amazing. Snow-covered Sierra Nevada mountains. It's really cold here. I'm gonna get back in the truck and continue driving. So now onto the car that I'm going to be getting. Environmentally conscious choice, that's one hint. It's a 4-letter word, does not begin with F, but we'll be there soon. You'll see the next vehicle in my fleet of cars that I should be reducing, but I'm currently expanding. So we made it, and I'm walking up to my new car. I've never had a car like this, not even close. This one is pretty special. I'd say maybe an acquired taste in a lot of ways. Come take a look at this. My brand new Nissan Leaf. Okay, it's been sitting here a little bit, as you can see. Got a few leaves on it. So this was my friend Brad's Leaf. Kind of did a trade. So I drove all the way up here to get this free Nissan Leaf. So yeah, there's a couple special things about this Nissan Leaf. You'll notice the bright fluorescent yellow color. No, the Leaf never came in this color. It also has these incredibly rad tri-spoke wheels. All right. I think the first order of business here is to see if this will start. It has been charging, but I don't know if the 12-volt battery has a charge anymore, so let's find out. Battery's definitely dead. All right, so I've never jump-started a Nissan Leaf before. I'm assuming you just kind of jump it like any other car. Does look like maybe we got a rat problem. Hopefully it's not too much of an issue. All right, I think the next step is to get a new battery. There we go. You came alive. The Leaf is alive. It has a current range of 19 miles. At least it starts. Good news. All right, so I got my 2011 Nissan Leaf loaded up, but you know what? There's actually a surprise here. There's a bonus electric vehicle. I actually got 2 electric vehicles today. How is that, you say? Well, Brad actually had a rad power bike that he's letting me borrow. Not only do I have an electric car now, I now have an electric bicycle, an electric cargo bike, no less. So yeah, this is pretty cool. We'll check this out when we get home. I'm gonna get out of Reno. It's gonna take me 7 to 8 hours to get home, so I better leave now. Finally home, 15 hours of driving in one day. Needless to say, I'm a little bit tired. Let me unload it and then we'll check out this yellow beast first thing in the morning. So here it is, my 2011 Nissan Leaf in nuclear fluorescent yellow. Yes, it is certainly a bold color choice. The original paint color was black, and Brad decided, you know what, black's kind of a boring car color, let's go with something fun. And I believe that this wrap material was on sale, it was super cheap, so it was actually a pretty easy decision because buying material to wrap a car is not cheap. And one thing you must note that this car right here was the first car that Brad had ever wrapped. Yes, there's a couple small details here and there if you look closely, but in general, it looks pretty good considering he had never wrapped a car before. So you might be asking, Ethan, why did you buy another car? Aren't you in the process of selling off cars? Yes, I am in the process of selling off vehicles. I just sold my Porsche 944 Turbo. I just sold my Pontiac Grand Am. I'm trying to slim down the fleet to get it down to a more manageable level, but this kind of popped up and I just kind of couldn't refuse. I actually got this Leaf in a trade, so to me it kind of felt like I didn't really pay anything for it. Now, a couple years ago, these things were incredibly cheap. Now, I believe Brad bought this vehicle for $2,500 or something insane like that. They've gone up in value a little bit because of the craziness of car prices, but still, they're kind of cheap, mainly because the batteries on these vehicles didn't really last that long. I don't know how many miles this vehicle has. I think it has maybe like 50 or 60,000 miles. We'll have to check in a second. But there's only about 40 miles of range, 50 if you're really careful. It originally didn't come with that many miles to begin with, but the range on these things do kind of drop off a cliff after a while. So that's why these were so cheap for a while, just because people started to get sold on the idea that electric cars need 300 miles of range. But I'm super excited to have an electric car with only 40 miles of range because most of the trips that I do are around town. They're like taking my kid to school, going to the grocery store, stuff like that. I don't need a ton of range for trips like that. And if I can use an EV for that kind of thing and not burn any gas, I'm gonna be really pleased. You might also be asking, Ethan, you're into 80s and 90s cars. Why did you buy kind of a boring electric car? Well, I will argue that this thing is not boring. This thing has a lot of history. This was like the electric car that got people into electric cars. This was pre-Tesla. It's kind of sad that Nissan really didn't kind of keep up the momentum with their electric cars. This is really the car that got the EV craze started. And even though this Leaf is not that old, it's only 11 years old, it's kind of a throwback. Electric cars really aren't all that small anymore. Yes, you can still get a Chevy Bolt, but there's really not anything like this anymore. Everything is getting bloated, everything is getting too big, and Nissan is killing off the Leaf, which is crazy to me. The world needs more small EVs and not these big bloated SUV EVs. All right, so I've had this vehicle for less than 24 hours. Let's take a close-up look, and you're gonna be seeing this at the same time as I do because honestly, I don't know anything about this car. I bought it sight unseen because I'm an idiot. So we're gonna be discovering all the issues with it together. There's a period of time where I really hated wheels like this. I really hated tri-spoke wheels when they were popular. I don't know, but you know, the passage of time, maybe nostalgia for the 90s. Tri-spoke wheels are like my new favorite thing. What are these? Super Longchamp? I don't know anything about these wheels. Super Longchamp, whatever that is. This might be the only wrap thing that I might remove. I see what he was going for here to kind of make this feel like more part of the body because it actually really isn't a functional part of the light except for the turn signal right there. But I don't know. I'm not sure about that. I might remove that. But overall, body is really clean. Just a couple minor issues with the wrap. That's really kind of it. All right, here we are in the Leaf. Actually, it looks really good in here. There's really no issues other than, I don't know about the yellow here. I might remove that, but I think he just had a little bit of material left over. I don't know. And it looks like he spent a lot of time cutting around all the little spots, and yeah, I'm gonna remove it. Sorry, Brad. Super chunky steering wheel. Look how thick this thing is. This is a meaty steering wheel. I don't like that word, but it kind of describes it. Ooh, look, fancy. We got some speakers in the A-pillars. This is a luxury vehicle. Let's turn it on. I honestly have no idea how much power this thing has left. There we go. So So you can see there are two displays, one up there and one down here. It shows 46 miles of range. It is fully charged. Yeah, okay, I get it. Only 46 miles of range. 50% of car trips in the US are less than something like 5 miles. So this can be incredibly useful. Oh, it's funny, just sitting here, it's gone down to 45. Now, if you've never sat in a Leaf before, you realize you've got this kind of weird shifter thingy, similar to a Prius in a way. If you want to go in reverse, just push it over and then up. Now you're in reverse. If you want to go in drive, push it down. If you want to go in eco mode, push it down again. Now you're in eco mode. And then the park is right there. I know this looks a little weird, but when it came out, it was kind of futuristic. So what do we got here? I've never actually used the Leaf infotainment system. Ooh, navigation. That's pretty impressive. Ooh, fancy XM. Look at these luxury features from 2011. And then here is the climate control system. Let's turn this on, AC. You can see now, oh, down to 33 miles. So, okay, let's turn that back off. Some trim pieces, headrest. But what is this right here? This is a box of air suspension. Brad wanted to put this on bags, but he never got around to it. I think we need to do it. Air suspension control system. Oh man, we totally have to do this. Look at that. This is gonna be awesome. Can you imagine this Leaf just slammed on the ground? I know, it's like nobody expects to see a Leaf like that. I think we have to do this, right? I think the compressor is in the back here. Oh yeah, look at that. Oh gosh, we definitely have to do this. So I won't say that the Nissan Leaf is a good looking vehicle. I mean, the front does kind of look like a fish. Yeah, it's not a really great looking car, but I love the fact that it's adorable. You know, it's kind of ugly, but in an adorable way. All right, so there's your quick introduction to my 2011 Nissan Leaf. But before we drive it, I have to show you the other electric vehicle that we got. This is a Rad Power Bike's Rad Wagon. It's a cargo bike. As you can see, it's quite a bit larger than a normal bike. Wheels are a bit smaller for a lower center of gravity. This thing is going to be super useful. I've been actually riding my bike to the grocery store lately, and it might be nice to have a little bit of power assist to get there. Two electric forms of transportation that I just picked up yesterday. I'm very excited about that. We're down to 41 miles of range. I'm going to go ahead and put it in eco mode just to be on the safe side. Oh, we're up to 45. How about that? I mean, there's really not much to say about it. It's an electric car. It's got a lot of torque. Put it back in regular mode. When you step on it, it goes. Yeah, it's not like Tesla fast. It's not even like Volkswagen ID4 fast, I don't think, but it's not bad. What else can I say about this car? It's really beige in here. It's an appliance. However, there are some things that make this fun. The crazy fluorescent wrap, those insanely cool tri-spoke wheels. I'm going to do the air suspension on this thing so I can slam it down to the ground. All right, we'll see how well this works driving my kid to school, but with 45 miles of range, assuming that I'm not driving like an idiot, I can easily get to school and back, plus do a few other errands. Like I said, 50% of all trips are like 5 miles or less, so an electric car with not a whole lot of range can be useful if it's a cheap car. Obviously, you don't want to be spending $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 on a car that you can only drive to the grocery store, but if you get something for a few $1,000s to drive to the grocery store and not burn any gas, yes. Sign me up for this awkward, kind of adorable, weird looking nuclear fluorescent yellow electric car. Right, there you have it, my 2011 Nissan Leaf. I'm super excited about this kind of ridiculous yellow car. I'll have more videos with this car coming soon. If you like this video and you want to see more like it, please consider subscribing and hitting that bell icon so you can get notified of all my videos. If you want to help support the channel, please consider buying a Hello Road t-shirt at helloroad.tv/shop. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're well, and I'll see you soon.
What if you could drive with 0 emissions and you never had to stop for gas again? Ever. What if you could top up your car on your lunch break? What if your everyday car was